do. You have a lot of ideas. You think you can do anything, but you actually can do nothing. So you follow one person. Follow one person. When you are 30 to 40 years old, if you really want to try to do something yourself, try it. When you're 40 years old to 50, just to focus on the things you're good at. When you're 50 years old, 60, enable young people to do better. When you're over 60 years old, spend time with your grandchildren. Enjoy yourself, right? That's the life, normally like that. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Mariam Robinson from Jamaica, CEO of a bank in Jamaica. So I, like you, believe that technology is good for human beings, and it actually helps to democratize access to markets, which is relevant for very small, poor countries. But there's also this concern that as we innovate, there's no one standard managing that innovation, and that these small, poor countries could be left behind. So I wanted to get your thoughts on should this be more standardized and managed at a global level, and can that help to bring along small, poor countries to ensure that growth is inclusive?
Yeah, that's a good question. This is what I'm doing almost every day. For small countries, developing countries, better not to think about standardization, rules or regulation. Don't think about it. The first thing to think about is let the entrepreneurs come up. Let the innovation come up. When they come up, then you know how to regulate. Last century, big size, big money, standardization is the rules. This century, or next century, personalization, customized, that's the rule. So, when you're talking about standardization, it takes about years to still fighting, debating. But when you, as an entrepreneur, when you start to do it within 3 or 5 years, you already make big changes. So for developing countries, don't convince them, like today Europe. The more you discuss about standardization, the more concerns come up, the more worry come up, right? So today, happily or good for developing countries, you will see in Europe, so many countries worry. So many countries start to talk about regulations. It's opportunity for you, for small countries. Move faster.
Hi Jack, my name's Sudarshan. I'm a global shaper from Pune. And I work to gamify education. But one of the things that I found interesting in the global shapers community is that I've found a place where I can be vulnerable, share failures, and share my fears. Now, I'm interested in knowing what are the communities that you feel comfortable, which is the circle that you feel comfortable in being vulnerable in. You mentioned how the 18 co-founders were the people that you shared your failures with. I'm also interested in knowing, are those 18 co-founders still the people you share your fears and failures with? And has that changed? Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, I think first it's young global leaders, shapers. This is a very good community, right? This is why I come here. Year 2001, I was young global leader. And I was sitting there listening to Bill Gates, Clinton at that time, you know, the debate that most of the things I don't understand what they're talking about. Right? But the things I understand as I go back and I test it. So this is why I said, because of Davos, that reformed me. Now, every year I come here, the priority one, if there's only one thing I would do, I would spend time with the young global leaders, shapers, to share my experience. So, this is what I think. And then the other thing is you can partner, but don't do business together, all right? There are a lot of people you can do business together, but not on the same group. This is no good. All right. This is my advice.
And why is that?
I've not researched that, but I've seen a lot of classmates, in the business school, MBA, when they start to do business together, they break the friendship and they break the business. Because when you look at the others, all the beautiful. When you get closer, it's not. Business is like a marriage, but business is not a marriage, right? So, don't invite your friend to join your company to be partner. Because be friends is always good. It's more precious, right? Giving you advice. My 18 founders, yeah, we still keep a contact, and some people, I said, when 10-year anniversary, this is a 20-year anniversary, 10-year anniversary, I told all the 18 founders tonight, everybody write a letter of resign. Because you don't owe company do not owe you anything. You've been working hard, you got what you want, you can go be yourself. And then, if you think about it, join the company again, write in 40 hours later, think through, write a letter of application to join the company as a normal employee. We will never consider you as the founder. If you're not qualified, you're out. That was the rules. So a lot of companies have founders, and then the founder getting problems, the company getting problems. That was, we did. And I feel proud for the 18 founders. They all live well. We still contact. But I travel a lot. I see a lot of friends, and I make friends of every different industries. That is strong leadership and unique, and they love to share. I have a lot of friends. Play poker and drinking together, but not easy now. But I think it's very important to have friends. I'm a person believing in friendship. I make a lot of friends, and people say, "Jack, how could your friend in the prison?" So why not? He was my friend. He committed crime. He's in prison. He's got punished. But he was my friend. When he came out, if he changed, we support him. Some people are very government officer, somebody bankrupt. It's a friendship. It's not about how successful you are. We believe your person. I believe that when I'm in trouble, you give me my advice, not necessarily give me money. That's what I think. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Mustafa Amin. I'm from Egypt, and I feel so lucky being a global shaper.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a very short question. What keeps you awake at night in today's world?
What keeps me awake in the night in today's world?
Yes.
Nothing. I sleep very well because I have. You will get used to that. When you go through life like this, company like Alibaba, people always see good side, but there are so many scary times, worries and that, and you have to overcome again. Now, I know if I cannot sleep well, problem is still there. If I sleep well, I may have a chance tomorrow to fight against the problem. Sleep well no matter what happens, right? So I don't have it. Today the world is that when I wake up, I say, I go to Africa today. I go to Europe today. I hammer on the United Nations panel and say, this is what we believe. We think it is whether they accept or not, it's not important. The important, you go tell the truth. You go tell your opinion. And you go change. That's what we do. Yeah, don't worry.
Hi, Mr. Ma. My name is Natalie Chen, and I'm a shaper from the Hong Kong hub. So I know that you're a great leader, but most importantly, you're a really great teacher. And I know that the education system is inherently quite broken. And so I've been working a lot in the education innovation space to connect students into 21st century skills and new job opportunities.
That's good.
But when I talk to a lot of students, I notice that a lot of students just have no idea what they want to do in the future. They're just really confused. The school world focuses on a very different thing than the real world. So I was just wondering, in terms of like industry relevance, in terms of what the education world is, because right now it's quite separate. What are your thoughts about bringing more of the private sector and creating a curriculum perhaps under Alibaba for high school students to understand more about entrepreneurship, e-commerce? Because I know you do a lot of work in supporting Alibaba Entrepreneurship Fund, but what if there is an opportunity to work with younger students and create a school for them? What are your thoughts about that?
Thank you. I already created a kindergarten, a primary school, a middle school, and a high school. Because I think we have to do something to change. Because we say, oh, I changed. And then people say, Jack, how you change? What does school look like? So we build up a school, a kindergarten, primary school first. And I say, in China, because it's all about schools. If you have a good school, you got to go. This is a very Chinese way. And I say, my school, the people who joining, we interview the parents, right? So this school, when this finish, they will not be able to, when they have a testing, they will not be successful, like the other school kids. Are you willing to send them here? So at the beginning, people worry, Jack, if you train the students like this way, no people would coming. I said, don't worry about that, because Alibaba have a 40,000 employees in Hangzhou, enough, right? And then they say, if you finish the primary school in your school, and then they cannot go to middle school, so we build. I say, oh, let's build a middle school. And then they say, if you finish middle school, you cannot build a high school. Let's build a high school. Then the university. And I say, I don't worry about university. I believe 10 years later, university will accept my students. The way training them to be real human, not learning machines. So we're testing that. As the kindergarten, you have to teach the kids singing, dancing. That's to bury the seeds of culture inside. Primary school, we teach the kids the value. Western, Eastern. I don't want the kids educated in Western, they don't like the Eastern, and the Eastern, and they don't like the Western. A lot of people complain about China. And I say, have you read Buddhism, Taoism, Confucius? No. Right? You don't know them. A lot of people complain about Western. Nobody have read the Bibles. How can you complain? I mean, if you know Bible, you know where generally coming from. A lot of people don't like Islam. They don't ever read that. So the middle school guys, they have junior middle school. They have to working hard. The senior high schools, they have to build interest. Today, the problem is most senior school students, the only dream they have, my parents want me to go to a key university. And what do you want? I don't know, but I just go to university first. That's a problem. So we need to do something. And I'm happy to hear that you're doing something on that. Yeah, Alibaba is testing that. Good news is that we're getting more and more interest. We only accept a few students, 100 students every year, but the application was huge. The way we teach, the bad news is we have not proved that we will be winning in 10 years. But I think if you teach your kids to be a real human, it will win. If you teach your kids to be a machine, you don't have a chance.
Hi, Jack. Renhua from Singapore, YGL. We met a couple of years in your office in Hangzhou. And when I asked you for advice, you said to me very clearly, you said, Renhua, don't study the businesses that succeed. Study the businesses that fail.
Yeah.
So for all of us, from a specific dimension, obviously Alibaba is probably one of the most successful businesses of the 21st century. And probably yourself, along with Steve Jobs, have created something which is very visionary to last for another generation. If you were to start a new company today, hypothetically, so the Jack Ma today, 2019, if you were to start a new company today from scratch, and if you were to go to pitch at Davos, what would you do and how would you incorporate this philosophy of learning from failures over the last 20 years?
Yeah. First, if I studied again, today, I will not moving on the internet because there are so many smart people there. I go to the agriculture industry and these areas because to compete with these, not easy. And second is that whether I have a Jack Ma's experience. I mean, experience means my experience when problem comes, I never scared. When problem comes, I'm saying, hey, wait a minute, what's the opportunity behind it? And when mistake makes, we'll see how we face it. Why I still encouraging every young people when you become a business leader, do not always follow the successful stars. For those people who are successful, there are a lot of reasons behind it. But learn from those people who fail. For all the failure mistakes are almost the same. Study that. Not because you can avoid the mistakes. It's because when the mistake comes, when failure comes, how you face it. So, my next life, I will be a business people again. And good experience. It's not how much money you made. It's not about how famous you are. It's about how much experience you have encountered. I feel so proud for so many tough situations come. My team worked together. We overcome that. And we found a lot of mistakes, silly mistakes. We laughed. We are writing a book, right? We try to remember all the silly mistakes, then share with the others. Don't laugh one day you will make the silly mistake like us again. Yeah.
Hello, this is Khulud al-Mansour from a global shaper from Riyadh Hub, Saudi Arabia. You've spoken at the very beginning that to change Africa you need entrepreneurs, and I think the same case for the Middle East because you're trying to move from an oil-dependent economy to a more diverse economy. My question is, how would you advise on that, and are there any plans to expand in the Middle East in terms of how you're expanding in other regions? Second question is the level of observation. To what extent do you think the Middle East economy or scenario is actually capable of absorbing a limited exposure of entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial projects? Thank you.
Yeah, first, there are great entrepreneurs in everywhere in the world. But most of the entrepreneurs are in the developing countries. There are more professional management in the West, but in the East, like Africa or the Middle East, China, we have a lot of Indian, Pakistan, we have a lot of entrepreneurs. And second, I think the government should, if the government want economy to grow good, do not trust themselves too much. They should trust the market. Trust the market means trust the entrepreneurs. Any government spend resources on training, developing, encouraging, make business-friendly policy for entrepreneurs, this country will go up. So I think Middle East, I've been there, some countries for 2 or 3 times. I found a great entrepreneurs there. The thing is that the governments, most of the oil countries, they are too rich. They're not care about the small, tiny. This is no good. They have to pay attention to small business. Last century, the bigger the better. This century, the smaller the better. Last century, you had to be a strong company. This century, you have to be a good company. A good company means you care your employee, your family, your friends, your customers. If you're comfortable, not necessarily be that big. Don't think about Alibaba, Amazon, Microsoft. Just to think about, I enjoy my life. I come to this world not to make a career. I come to this world to enjoy my life. and I make a good company. When the company is good, it will be strong. So I think Middle East, huge potential, but the technology, they have to embrace it. Yeah.
Okay, so we have time for one last question. This is quite difficult. Oh, okay. I've been told we actually have time for 2 questions. Okay, this is great.
Hi, Jack. I'm Alessandro Panerai from the Milan Hub, Global Shaper. So my question is, what is your main personal goal and what do you want to learn in the next 5 years from now?
My personal goal is that I hope, for business-wise, I hope the internet, we will build a new ecosystem that using technology can enable every young people, every small business, that they can global buy, global sell, global compete, global deliver. And anybody can buy globally, deliver globally, sell globally. It's make the world really global. And my personal is that, one thing, nobody can decide which family you were born, right? But you can decide how you die. I don't want to die in the office. I don't want to die on the hospital. I want to die peacefully on the beaches or somewhere, right? So relax and do things I like, because I've been working really hard before this year, very hard. I will still work very hard, but I will pick up the things I only like. This is because the first 50 years tough work can give me the rights to do something that I really like, not do the things I have to do something that I love to do. Yeah, one that grows.
Hi, Carol from China, YGL 2018. I produce and host an interview show, Global Thought Leaders Like You. I think China has been playing the catch-up game for a long time, and now it's an exciting time for Chinese entrepreneurs because they can really be top of the world. But they're very busy, climbing up the ladder. But also, it comes at a great cost of family, of friends, of health. Probably not dying on the beach, as you said, right? And they're too busy to really think about the purpose behind all these technological innovation, all these economic development, all the value questions. Well, I see the conversation happening in a lot of the guests I interview in the West. So how do we really start the conversation in China? And also, it's an important question that China contributes, in the global conversation. So how do we, help with that narrative so that, it helps the world to understand China and helps China to contribute to the world as well?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, give you another. I'll try to finish 2 questions. Yes, yeah.
Hi, my name is Gabriela. I'm a global shipper from Caracas, Venezuela. And I wanted to ask you about, if you could share with us a challenge that you have faced and how did you embrace the challenge? Because, all of us, we are living in an age where we have found so many little challenges, and most of us are facing our own domestic challenges.
Yeah.
And so I would like to know, what do you think that was what was your difference among others to overcome those challenges?
Thank you. First, about China question. Yes, China is developing very fast. When you want to be the global leader, it's not about your money. It's not about your economic power or military power. It's about your responsibility. It's about the value you bring to the world. We believe he's a leader, not because he has a strong muscle, because he has a wisdom, he has a heart. He knows what he's doing, and I think China is learning that. It's not. This is This is like me. I never thought about these questions, you know. Honestly, for 20 years ago when I started my business, you are so smarter than I was 20 years ago. I mean, I can never ask these questions. Slowly, when to the certain size, I take more responsibility. I start to think and think differently. Right? So when you think about creating value for the others, then you will think about creating value for yourself. And Chinese, Western, the thing is the US now there's a conflict. It's a good thing. Because through conflict, if they're both rational, they will learn each other. Oh, that's what you mean. Today it's more like a duck talks chicken. Different languages. So this kind of conflicts, it's not necessarily bad. It's a helping understanding, right? So that's what I suggest. China is learning, Western is learning, Middle East is learning, Africa is learning. We always have to keep on learning. When you keep on learning, things will change. About your question, I faced a lot of challenges. Some challenges that I would never say. I probably, when a certain age, right, so painful, regretful. But, you know, the only solution is go to bed and sleep, wake up, do it again. Life is very short. You only have 80 or 100 years. The thing you can do is 30 years. If you're always in the bad mood, you cannot pick up the second. Pick up one. All life is very long. 100 years is very long. Don't think about today. Wake up tomorrow. You will not. When I be rejected by so many people, I say, tomorrow there's somebody waiting at the corner for me. He should be smart enough. Yeah. So always be optimistic. Try to comfort yourself with your own hands. Yeah. Nobody can comfort you. Can warm you up. Only you can warm up yourself. And if you want to be successful, pay the tough cost.
Thank you. I mean, I don't have to say this, but please let's give another round of applause to Jack for his time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jack Ma. It's really an honor to have you with us. And there's a tradition of taking a group selfie. But for that, I will want to ask that everyone remain in their seats. Okay? Yes. Yes, and we have a selfie stick. All right.
So be here first, right?
Yeah. Okay.
You can make it longer.
Okay, longer.
Please remain in your seats.
That's good.
Okay.
I'm not
There you
good.
go.
There you go. Yes. So everybody, right? Are we? Now we'll go to. I will be there, and this one first. Yes, that's good. That's good. That's good. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for patience.
I will do it. I will do it.
Actually, yes. That's good. That's good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Okay.